spot, we're going to be having a look at DC Minimates Series 1, Green Lantern and Star Sapphire. This would actually be the very last 2-pack from the first series of Minimates. And certainly what a good series it was. Unlike the DC Universe figures, one of the problems I had with DC Universe figures is for the fact that it was the first wave on what would be a long series of waved figures. I was very surprised to find that they put in the figures that they did. And by those figures, it was like Penguin, Red Tornado, Enrigan, who was the other one? Well, it was Rex Mason, Elemental Man for the Element Man for the Build-A-Figure. It was really obscure figures. I wouldn't say obscure, but it was certainly characters that if a kid was picking them up, probably would pass on them. I was really surprised that DC Universe went with those figures or those picks. Unlike the DC Universe, however, I think the DC Minimates definitely went in a step in the right direction for what figures they picked. As you can see on the back, the package, the figures that they went with a good all-star assortment. I mean, between the Superman and Lex Luthor, the Batman and OMAC, and Joker and Harley Quinn, and then the Green Lantern. I mean, you have really top billing characters. And if you ask me, for any series, whether it's Marvel, DC, for the first wave of a series, you probably would want to put out like the top characters. I guess they had to use the OMAC for one assortment. It's almost a shame that they just didn't throw Joker, Batman and Joker, but then I guess Harley Quinn would have been on her own. But there you go. Packaging is the same as the others. It's got that yellow Starburst card. It's not bad on the DC Minimates. As I mentioned, though, I'm kind of getting a little tired of the yellow and the orange, though. Kind of wish they would mix it up and do a little bit different, especially with the DC Universe too, because they all seem to have that yellow kind of carding now. But there you have carding, or the packaging, on Green Lantern and Star Sapphire. Let's get these guys opened up and we will get a closer look at the two Minimates, so stay tuned. And so here we have an extreme focus view of the Green Lantern and Star Sapphire. Let's look at the least interesting character first. We'll look at the Star Sapphire. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily her fault, but I tell you, I've been extremely spoiled by the Justice League cartoon of the early 2000s. And the reason for it is the Star Sapphire I see from that cartoon, and it's the same problem I have with the Parasite. I always think of Star Sapphire looking like that now, so to see the other incarnation, or the correct incarnation of her, I guess, is a little harder. I really like what they did with her mask in the cartoon. Now, speaking of mask, the Star Sapphire mask does come off. The only downside with it coming off, though, is the fact that her hair comes completely off as well. I guess with the way it was molded, it would have been next to impossible just to have the mask. So as a result, it kind of looks like the girl from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Reacher. Yeah, so we'll just put her hair back on so we don't embarrass her much more. She's got the pink with the purple. And she's got DC Made in China on the back of her. Who knew? I didn't know. Articulation is the same as all Minimates. There's articulation in the shoulder, in the elbow, also in the hand. Articulation in the waist. I would say in the head, but the Star Sapphire suffers from the collar. You can't get much articulation from her head. But there's articulation in the leg, also in the knee, and also in the foot. So there you have Star Sapphire. I'll put her down and we'll look at the more interesting character. You know what? We'll have her sitting for a picnic lunch. What are they going to have for the picnic? I don't know. Sandwiches, maybe? Egg sandwich? Egg salad. Yeah, I could see Star Sapphire liking egg salad sandwiches. You know what? She's taking a nap. There we go. If we look at the Green Lantern, though, the very cooler figure of this 2-pack, nice representation of Hal Jordan. Now, if you ask me, Hal Jordan is the definitive Green Lantern. It's unfortunate. I really wish the Justice League cartoon had Green Lantern Hal Jordan rather than John Stewart. Nothing against John Stewart. I like John Stewart, but I do like, even back in the day for Challenge of the Super Friends, I still think Hal Jordan, he's the guy, he's the dude. One nice thing too is, despite how small their hands are, you'll see this little tiny dot. That would be his ring. That would be what gives him his power. But really nice detailing on his face. He's got the little curl, the Superman curl in his hair. Really, really nice details. Articulation is the same. I'm not going to touch too much on it. But same with the head, the shoulders, everything else. As I mentioned, usually with most Mini-Mates, when you get them out of the package, be very careful with the joints. Don't move the arm too much or the legs too much. You can actually break the ball joint right off. But there you have Green Lantern. Now his one accessory, and it would have made perfect sense to have this accessory, he does come with a very, very tiny lantern. And you can actually clip that lantern right into his hand. And now you give Hal Jordan the power, the might of the Green Lanterns. Very, very cool though. I still like the Batman and the OMAC the most. I really like the Superman, but I really am glad to have gotten the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Really, really always liked Green Lantern. Really liked Hal Jordan, so I'm glad to have picked up this set. Definitely would recommend it. The Star Sapphire is probably the weakest character of the entire wave, but definitely a good set though. Definitely a good first wave of DC Minimates. But there you have DC Minimates Series 1, Hal Jordan and Star Sapphire, and that hit the spot. I'll see you guys next time.